You'll be out
What
there
do you think the
singing
song
that
would be right now today?
Oh, what song? What song? Give me
The song.
The what? I don't know.
The song. You know that?
Which one is that?
Cisco. It's real old. I was like in high school. It's a bad song. You don't want to know it.
No, I don't know it.
But I know it.
Cisco Kid. I know Cisco Kid. He was a friend of mine.
I don't know that guy. This is the best part. I just get to talk to people. All right, you ready to get rolling?
I am.
What's good, yo? Welcome to episode 20 of MKN GNZ Tv with my very special guest, Carla Young, the world's best football mom.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me where you're from, Carla.
Originally,
Everything.
Born in Easton, Pennsylvania, and I lived in upstate New York, and then I lived in New Jersey, and then we moved to Bethlehem Township. My dad was transferred a lot.
Bethlehem Township. And did you go to school here, or?
I did. I went to school at Freedom.
Oh, wow. And all your little babies went to school there, too.
I did.
That's awesome. So you graduated Freedom. Did we go to college, or?
I did. I graduated Freedom 78, and then I went to Penn State, and I was, graduated Penn State in 83, I think. Yeah.
I don't like Penn State, but I do like you, so.
I love it.
I feel like, what's in the water there? Like,
Because everyone's so happy.
yeah, like,
But believe
there's
me or
something
not,
in the water there.
I graduated from Penn State and I never drank a beer. And my last year there, I lived above the Rathskeller. And if you're a Penn State person,
Is that a bar?
It's a bar. It's the oldest bar
Oh.
in State College. And we had like 3 or 4 floors.
Yeah.
We lived on the top floor, and when Penn State won their first national championship, we sat on our balcony and we watched as the throng of crowds carried down the
That's pretty
goalpost.
cool.
It was so cool.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I graduated from State and never drank a beer. To this day, I've never had a beer.
Good for you. I think I drank
Can't
enough
get
for
past
both
the
of us.
taste. Ugh, yeah.
There's some good. There's a little bit therapeutic, and so it's just for fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you stay on your track. It's probably better off. The
Well,
way you do
actually,
it.
they called me mom then. I knew a lot of the football players.
Yeah.
They all called me mom because I took care of mine.
You've just been, and that's why you're just like you. I feel like you're just the caregiver, caretaker, like just like scream like anything someone needs. If you're around, it's like it's on its way without it being asked. And I think that's it's very rare. You don't meet many people that way, or many people that are like that. And on top of that, you have 3 sons, and you're a single mom. And I think that's I was raised by a single mom, so I know. And I think she did all right with me. I think she
An amazing job with you.
So game recognized game. I see another great single mom, and I was like, we got it. It's getting close to Mother's Day. I was like, let's air it out. Let's see what's in there, and probably bigger. What drives is like your heart. So like,
Yeah,
that's
I had an Italian mom with a huge heart. She was the most loving person I've ever known and the most compassionate person I've ever known. And everything good I am is because of her.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So like we're talking about making gains, and you got all the love gains. Like probably one of the the nicest people I know.
Thank you.
So single mom and football mom. How much do you love football?
I am crazy about football, especially when I know the players.
Yeah.
That's when I really love it. I mean, of course, my children, but anybody who I've, who's been in my village, I'm real happy to watch.
If you could play, what position would you play?
If I could play, what could I play, or what would I
what
love to
would
play?
you love to play?
I would love to be the running back, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would.
What would you like, what would your, like extra, would you have like the gloves, the sleeve, would you have like a visor, or would you do like no gloves, would you do like old school?
Yeah, I'd be like low key, kind of. I'll impress you with how I will plow through and get this ball.
So you're downhill.
Where it's supposed to be.
Where it's supposed to be. You're not making moves. You're running people over.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
But I can't do that, so that's why I had to ask you.
But no, it's great. It's like I just want to see where your
I
head's
would
at.
love to do that. I would love to give me the ball, and let me show you.
Carla,
how
winners
to get
always
it
want
done.
the ball. That's what I'm talking about. Winners always want the ball. I always wanted it. I didn't give it to me. That was a little slow. So. But
Well, I am definitely too slow.
winners always want the ball.
Running back, but
So-
kids will laugh like crazy when you hear it. But
So you're also going to be an empty nester soon.
I am.
What are you going to do?
Resistance, baby.
Resistance?
Mm-hmm.
What's that mean?
This whole backlash from the last election.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you're gonna lead the revolution?
Oh, we have a lot of work to do.
There it is, guys.
We have a lot of work. There is so much work.
Carla Young's leading the revolution. I'm on board. That's it. Sign me up.
In fact, when I was in Penn State, and when I picked up my oldest son and moved him back, there was Take Back the Night march, right? So they are feminists who do this, and they're against objectification of women and, our culture's making women sexual objects and sexual assault on women and so forth. So it empowers women, that march. And I did that at Penn State. I organized.
You started that at Penn State? That's awesome.
I organized it. I was in the Department of Women's Services. But the coolest thing I saw of all the signs in the march, I wasn't in Washington. I had to be in New York City because Jake had a wrestling match that night. So I joined the New York folks, which wasn't nearly as great as the Washington folks, but still and all. But the best sign I saw was a very old woman, like my mom's generation, standing there with a sign. Can I swear on this channel?
Absolutely.
Okay, so with a sign that said, I can't believe I can't believe I'm still fighting for this shit.
Yes, that's awesome.
Like, here we are, how many generations later, and, we can't get equal pay for women. Now they're trying to roll back Obamacare, and they're trying to make even cesarean sections a pre-existing.
That's a little nuts. I agree with like everything you're saying, but I'm excited to also see you lead the revolution and maybe one day be a president. I think.
No. Maybe you.
2028.
I'll work
2020 is
my
kind of
butt off
soon.
for
We
you.
gotta get you into, some mayors. We can get you into politics. Everyone in Bethlehem Township. First you're gonna be the mayor of Bethlehem Township. Is that a thing?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Governor? Commissioner of Bethlehem Township. Then we move Carla into the White House.
No, I can't do it. But
We're gonna make a run at it.
The revolution and taking over. Honestly, the congressmen need to go. All of them just need to go. And we need to stop paying for their health care now.
There it is.
They cannot get free health care.
I love it.
If taxpayers are not paying for their health care.
Good.
So but that's, one of my favorite quotes is that Margaret Mead, never doubt that a group of passionate, organized citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's all about, empowering people and letting them realize their full potential and giving them the understanding that they have
the juice.
So much power.
You got the juice.
Yeah. They
Carly,
just don't
you
know it.
had the juice since the first day I met you. And empowering, and it's so hard to, count the progress or the tangible of I feel like what you deliver to people every day, on Facebook, just pumping people up, I feel like anyone that's ever been to Freedom should probably know you, either through sports or through your sons, and and that's why I kind of cross-pollinated with you, because I'm definitely going to get to Carla's crowd, and that's going to be almost everyone in Pennsylvania. So let's get back to the single mother deal. How's that? That's, anyone that go 3 for 3 with boys in college is that's gains. And, I got, my single mom, there's 4 of us. I was the first to graduate college. My sister's close, she's right behind me. And then my 2 brothers, they chose alternative things, and that's fine. But 3 for 3, and they're not going to knucklehead schools. Where'd Josh graduate from?
He actually didn't graduate. He tore his ACL in his last year of wrestling. So
Okay.
he's going to take that 5th year, and he loves his team.
Absolutely.
He loves his coaches, and he's going to do that
So
last
now
year of
he's
wrestling next year. So he'll at Franklin and
Marshall.
And he has 2 majors, philosophy and business.
This is definitely brag time. Yep.
It is very kind of fire.
No, I want it.
And
if you deserve
I
it.
just went to a banquet where he was honored. He was the highest performer in the philosophy department. So he did that with working a work-study job all 4 years with 2 majors, 2 grueling sports, football and wrestling. And the boy has paid for his own everything.
There it is.
Literally. And so he makes a lot of money in the summertime for a student, and he pays back his student loan along the way. So he's going to graduate debt-free.
That's gains. Like, this is
He's my
why
leader.
you're on here, because you're the leader of the pack.
No, he's
so,
the leader, so I'm following his good lead.
You had to get it from somewhere, right?
Oh,
And
listen, I'm thankful
so
for that.
Franklin Marshall, 2 majors, and what's my man Josh up to right now?
And Josh is just finished on Friday. I picked
Josh, Jake.
Oh, Jake.
They're all
Sorry.
Jake. We're on the Jake now.
Yeah.
How often do you get them confused?
all the time.
Good.
I call one and the other. I go through all 3 names before I get the
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Yes.
Why didn't you pick different? Why not J names?
That was their dad.
It's
Their dad
cool.
wanted J biblical names.
All my kids have A names, so
Yeah.
I'll just give them different nicknames
So
later.
you'll go crazy too,
Yeah.
calling them all before you get the one you want.
So number 2, we're gonna give him numbers now.
Okay,
The second
number
one,
2
he's
is
doing well.
Jake, and yes, he's doing very well also. So he's,
Columbia,
Yeah.
is he 2 sports too?
2 sports. He's the only Ivy League kid doing 2 sports. And one of our local
Once he
news
get home,
reporters,
we gotta get him on the show.
One of our local news reporters put that in like a
Yeah.
tweet, and asked another news reporter.
It had to like
and lo and
blow
behold,
up.
it was.
Did not blow up? Is he? So
Oh,
when Jake comes home, I want to sit him down, teach him how to brand, and we teach him how to capitalize off of being one of a kind. So that's gains for me and Jake later.
Yeah.
And then you got the baby.
And my little baby, my little baby Joey.
And where's Joey's headed to now?
So
He
he's
just wrapped up.
graduating June 7th from Freedom, and then he's going to prep school, a really good prep school in Connecticut called Choate Rosemary Hall. I honestly wish that I had learned of that PG year a long time ago, that postgraduate year, because it is an alternative for kids who have worked hard in school but didn't quite get the looks that they wanted.
Oh, yeah.
There's,
Wish I knew about it
postgraduate
when I was
year.
coming out of school. I might have did it.
Too, I know.
Yeah.
So,
Stay in school as long as you can. It's
right,
great.
right. So and they recruit just like they do, for college. So I think they can take like 9 PG kids, and Joe was the top prospect for a couple of the schools, and the school he chose has not lost a football game in like 30 games or something, so they get a lot of looks.
That's awesome.
So God is good.
We just had a coach a couple episodes who took over a program who didn't win a game for 30 games.
Oh, yeah.
So on the flip side of that, it's good to be winning. How proud of you, just like all the time? Like,
I am.
do you just ever explode with proudness?
Oh yeah, no, I explode all the time with gratitude. Really.
Yeah.
I am so thankful to God. Sometimes it just hits me like a ton of bricks, and I am really so thankful to God for everything He's done for me. These things. Right.
So when did their father pass? When was that?
Joey was 2, Jake 4, and Josh 6.
How was that transition? That was super tough.
That was so hard.
Yeah.
That was the darkest time in my life, really. It was very difficult. And it wasn't so much that I knew I had it in me to raise these 3 sons. I was just so sad for him that he would not be there to raise our sons. It was like nothing I had ever experienced before that.
Yeah.
It was just, it was gut-wrenching.
So did you ever look into the stats? So I was raised without a father, and the stats for kids making it without dads are like very slim. Like, well, if you make it, you're like elite. You're like, 80% without fathers go to jail. 80%, don't graduate, and it is abysmal. But if you're on the other side of that, if you get to college and you get to be playing sports, you get to get a gig, like that, it's pretty elite, like top 10%.
Yes, it is.
So, how does that, how do you feel now? Looking back, what are some of the things you think might have been like turning points in like your life, their lives?
Yeah.
I like to try to get to like the meat of like people who are making games and just they're different. Like where might have this thing, like where might have this ship, like just if there was ever a point where it all could have went this way or that way, what happened? Like keep it afloat.
Yeah, I can honestly say that I never believed for a minute that I didn't know how, but I never believed for a minute that my boys would not be hugely successful.
So believing in it before it ever
You have
happens.
to believe in it. You do. You have to have a dream that you believe in, and then you have to wrap yourself around it, and you have to make it a part of your fabric. Like, it just can't be a thread in the fabric. It's got to be the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't have things define you either. Moments in life, they cannot define you. You've got to really avoid that. So a big part of what I do, you know, I'm a counselor at a crisis center, but so when people get stuck in a crisis, when something horrible happens to them, like even the Bible says, God gives you the ability to move through it. It's probably the most used preposition. So you can move through whatever curveball life sends you, and through is the key.
Yeah,
You don't
not
want to
around.
stay there. You don't want to get stuck there. So initially, that trauma that you've experienced defines who you are, but you can't stay there.
Yeah.
Eventually, it has to be just a thread in the tapestry.
Okay.
You know, eventually, at first it's a tapestry. It is your tapestry. It is who you think you are. You are this trauma.
Yeah.
I am this widowed single mother of 3 little boys.
So you got to believe in yourself. You got to know thyself.
No.
Sounds like, right? Like,
Yeah, you have
like you
to
kind of
know.
you know that these are the odds
Yeah.
up against you now,
Right.
and then what's next? So believing in yourself,
Yeah.
knowing the hand you're dealt, and then how do we just like keep our eyes on the prize? How do we go get it? How do we?
You really have to make a conscious decision every single day of your life to just go get it. That it's there, it's waiting for you. The world is your oyster. It's there. You have to make a conscious choice to say,
I want to go play football
I'm
now.
getting it.
I'm jeeped up. Ugh. I like, and you know, when I think about it, like it's tough waking up like every day at 5. I'm like, half the time I'm sore. I got like 3 or 4 hours sleep, but you know, I got my dreams. I have things I want to do, like, and places I want to be, and that's every morning. It's like, okay, well, we can complain and cry and nap a little longer. Sometimes I do it this snooze button. I get, you know, I should have left 20 minutes ago, but
We're human.
then we fire out the door, and it's time to go get it. Like, so, like some of the people you counsel.
So God put that spirit in you, folks. Like, that's not there just by happenstance.
Yeah.
He created you for something huge.
Absolutely.
And
I
you
completely
got
agree
in
with you.
touch with that early, and you never turned your back on it. Like, you accepted it, and you did the legwork. Like, He created you for something big and huge, and to be impactful. You know.
Yeah.
So like I always say that, you know, our purpose on this planet is to love.
Yeah.
You know, how do we serve God? Well, He's not here. So He has created us to love and serve one another.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how we love and serve Him, by loving and serving one another. So where you see a need, you help.
Helping. So how do we help people like wake up and go get it? Is it like if you're not born with it, it's like you know, tough cookies, or so we're all born with it.
We're all born
But,
with it.
you know, I know like some of the kids I see that your sons have even played with, and
That have no hope.
you know that like my like close friends, some family members like that lack ambition and lack drive and lack like the love you just pour out all the time. Like where does one go to find that? How do you like teach and still like, you know, these are all the tough questions. You know, where do we, like, what's your recommendation? There's obviously no right or wrong answers. If there was a right answer, you know, hopefully everyone would know it and everyone would have it. But like your wisdom, your gains with your 3 sons, it's just like it like I get dumbfounded, you know, like because I see a lot of single moms. And they all struggle. Like a lot of them struggle, and they're like, "Oh, my son needs a mentor." And I try my best, and without like choking them. Sometimes I might have had that, and but like I felt like I don't think there might have been. I don't know, but I don't know if there's ever a time where your sons needed mentorship. Or did they just have great uncles or?
They had great coaches. They've had great coaches, great teachers. They've had great men in their lives.
Yeah.
You know, they have had, I did not do this alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a whole village of people. And you're one of them. And they were blessed and fortunate enough to have people in their lives to whom they could look up to whom they could follow, you know. And they were receptive. Like that's a big part of it. So you have to be willing to receive it too. And you may not feel like you're hugely impactful. You turned our Freedom team around. Yes, you did. Because Freedom was always an underdog. When I was there, it's still an underdog now.
Yeah.
But you convinced those kids that they had the power to be a winning team. And they started buying into that. They started believing it.
Yeah.
And look what happened when they started believing it. That shift in perception.
There it is. Bang.
If you can choose to see it differently, there's the miracle. You
So,
can convince people to see it differently.
There it is.
So even though you don't think you made an impact on those kids that
I'm just
might
too
not
modest
be ready to
sometimes.
receive it, you've planted the seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll recall.
So let's talk about freedom football and my impact, and then like I agree with you. I did a great job, but
Yes.
I also feel like I failed a couple kids that you know in the last 2 years, like back to back. We had to read about some of our guys. So like, how do we? My next quest is winning games is great, but when I'm not there to help them win games, like how do I know they're still winning in life? Like how do you send your little babies out to go win in life?
Yeah, no,
You
it's
know?
very scary.
What's
the
like-
world? Listen, when their dad was alive long enough to send Joshua off to school, and he was at home putting him on the school bus, and when he called me at work, he was crying like a baby, and I was, what's wrong? And he says, we're giving them to the world. We're giving them to the world. Up till now, they were in our little cocoon, and we could, it was safe. They did what we wanted them to do, but now we're giving them to the world. And unfortunately, for the kids who have made mistakes, unfortunately, they let the world in.
Yeah,
And
a little too much.
A lot of them know better. A lot of them were raised better. And a lot of them had enough influences to know that the decisions they made were wrong.
Yeah.
And unfortunately now there are consequences to those poor choices. And my sister always says this, and I love it. We are all, every single one of us, all of us, just one poor decision away from destroying our lives. But that decision does not have to define you.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So while they'll have to suffer those consequences now, if they choose to see it a different way,
move through it.
and move through it, and hang on to the absolute truth that God created them for something bigger than they can even imagine, does not have to define them. It's hard to do. It's an easy, simple solution, but it's very hard to do because the world is filled with influences that are going to pull you this way and that way and tell you lies, tell you a bunch of lies, tell you can't.
I feel like
you can't. And then you've got to pull it deep down from within you, and you have to say, oh yeah, watch me.
And that's usually how it is. It's like, it's not hard, but it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yes.
Like it's a simple concept.
Simple concept.
But it's not easy to get it done.
Not easy.
Like moving a mountain. That's simple, just move that mountain. But that doesn't mean it's easy.
Right.
So let's recap. Believing in yourself, because you never doubted you'd raise some fine gentlemen.
I never doubted that. I didn't know how it would happen.
Yeah.
But I knew God knew how. So in the times when I was weak and when I was overwhelmed, I would just say, God, I can't. But you know. I don't know the plan, but you know the plan.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it in your hands, and I'm taking the rest now. I mean, you're not superwoman,
So
you
for
fall and
all the
stumble.
single moms watching this, all the gains that they need to be making with their little babies that they bring in here. I got a couple of cool 7 and 8 year old athletes that they're out in the world too, and sometimes I get a little worried for them because they're
Oh yeah.
they're just puppies and they don't know any better.
They don't.
So when I send this to those single moms,
Right.
always believe in it.
Always do.
Know yourself. You said
Right.
you knew the situation got at hand. What was the last takeaway we could have here?
Well, I got a lot of them, but there's so much I feel like I didn't say too. Like we are
got all
all
night.
powerful. Every
Yeah.
single one of us has so much power. And if you use that, first of all, you have to tap into it, and then you have to use it for good. So, you also, as a mom, you have to kind of be a grizzly bear. You have to protect them.
I've seen that.
Against
She's not always loved. Sometimes she's still mad.
I can get there and go 0 to 60 quick if I feel a threat, man.
Oh.
Weren't you at that?
I've done a couple games where you've...
They went after one of our parents, police officers did, just for nonsense, and like,
Yeah.
whoa, stop right there, you're not arresting any of ours today.
Yeah.
No, we're all good people here, and it's just football, and we're all leaving together.
Mm-hmm.
No one's being arrested for nonsense.
Yes.
Not today.
Not today.
But, so you have to be a grizzly bear,
Yeah.
like you do. You have to recognize danger and threat, and then you have to do your level best to protect your child from that, because that's very real. Like I do my best to love and spread all the goodness, but there's a lot of people out there who, are not on the same page. And when you see that, your child or someone's child whom you love is about to step in harm's way, oh, you absolutely have to go pull that child back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot. You're
I
gonna
can only
learn,
imagine.
but
I've seen
you've got your little
yeah.
girl now.
We got another one on the way.
You do?
Number 2, another girl.
No, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
August.
Congratulations.
August the album drops. I was thinking of like
Aw.
mixtapes.
That's so great.
I know, I'm pretty excited because she's getting Aaliyah's getting super anxious and not anxious, just like very active. I'm like, all right, well soon there'll be another one for you to
Oh, yeah.
go run into the wall with. So.
And then if you decide to have 3 and you become
Easy,
outnumbered,
Carla, easy.
and then you're outnumbered, and wait till you see how much fun that gets.
And on that note, all right, real quick. So,
Yeah.
believe in yourself
Believe in yourself.
and know the cards you dealt, right? Know thyself. And I think the last one you said that was awesome was don't let moments define you.
Don't be defined by your trauma, by your tragedy, by your hardship. Do not be defined by that, because God has put in your heart, everything good, and He wants nothing but life and life abundantly, without getting too preachy. Like, you were created for greatness, and your children were created for greatness. And if you refuse to accept anything less than that, and don't let obstacles stand in your way, plow through them.
Yep.
Through them.
Through
Through
them.
is the preposition.
Don't get
Stuff's
stuck
gonna
on
happen
place.
to everybody. That's life. Life is hard. Don't let anyone who tells you life's not hard is lying to you. But move through it. Learn from it. And rebuild.
Keep making gains, Carla. Love you.
Love you.
You keep making gains too.
Hit that thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can. Subscribe to the channel. But for now, signing off from Making Gains TV.